I'm not a real character, so I don't know what I said. We're gonna find out today who I am.
We're gonna name it before the end of this panel.
Yeah.
But so this is the most basic kind of Muppet style or Henson style puppet you can find, and it's really a technology. There is all of these design choices are deliberate, and they're meant for a television camera or film or for phones now. There is a deliberate placement of the pupils to make sure that, you know, if they were wall-eyed, it wouldn't look like it was looking in any one direction. If I look at, hi Craig, if I look at you this way, it's not as compelling as if I look at him this way. You see two eyes. So there's, oh sorry, is this mine? Is this mine? I don't know why it doesn't work. But and then the mouth, you know, Jim was the first one to do lip sync with a puppet. People had done it before. That Stan Freberg, who worked with Bob Clampett on Beanie and Cecil, was a big influence of Jim's. And you can see a lot of Kermit in Cecil. It's a very early TV show. But they were doing this, but they weren't doing it with the precision that Jim and Jane developed. Jim has a very different style than Jane. You know, Jim kind of goes like that when he does his puppets. He does figure eights, especially in the early days. He gets real big and you know, he does all that stuff. And Jane really developed that dropping the thumb, because you know, when you're puppeteering, you don't want to puppeteer like this, and that's the instinct. And your hand's instinct is to do this. So it's reverse of everything. He's also developing a system that was used maybe, I think, by Jerry Lewis, the monitor system, but never for puppetry. It's not, the puppeteers are not looking up, and we still don't look up. We're looking down at a monitor on the floor for many reasons. One, we get to compose our own shots. We can make sure the puppet's not crooked or looking the wrong way, and also to keep our head out. What's challenging about it is, as people, we're all used to looking in mirrors. So when you part your hair one way and then you see a picture of yourself, you go, wait a minute, I thought my hair was parted that way. You know, it's the opposite of your expectation. Right. I guess it could apply to many other things too. But it's the opposite of what your brain expects to see. So I'm turning this way, but it's the other way down here. And there's a lot of mechanics that he developed in these first few years that are basically the same. We've gotten a little bit more developed in the puppetry. You know, often with these, they don't even have rods. They're just kind of here. But now we'll have one performer do one hand and an assistant maybe do the other if it's a complicated choreography. But the technique is almost practically the same, and the materials. I mean, this was a time when foam rubber was brand new. It talks about that in the book. That's what's used to keep these puppets structured but also pliable, so he can, you know, you can kind of get expressions out of them. That was a brand new concept that we're still utilizing today.
And what would happen if you lit it on fire?
I would burn, Joe.
Oh, okay, got it.
I would burn, and there'd be no more me.
This is a very educational panel.
And one of the things that I talked about, Jane